Hello everyone, welcome to the latest product launch from Dealroom. We are very excited to be here and have such an international group of people joining. Do introduce yourself in the chat. We've got people so far tuned in from South Africa, Bahamas, jealous, Norway, Portugal, Atlanta, Oslo, France. We're here in Amsterdam. And yeah, you're all very welcome. My name is Orla Browne. I'm Head of Insights here at Dealroom and very pleased to be joined by Felix.
Yes, hi, I'm Felix Ullmer. I'm the head of product strategy here at Dealroom. And yeah, we're super excited to share a bunch of new features with you. And we'll also be joined by a head of news, Andrii, in a bit for some new specific features that he'll explain to you.
Yeah, so we've been doing this quarterly recently and sharing the latest product updates. We're not going to, chat too much because we want to get into it all. But if you have questions as you're going along, please drop them in the chat. We will try and get to them. I'm going to be keeping an eye on it, but we'll also have a section at the end if you have questions about any of the features or anything else that's coming up. So what some of the things we're going to be covering today. So we're going to be talking about Ask AI and MCP connectors. So Felix will be covering those. We're going to be showing you some shareholder info for private companies. We've got founding stories, daily email and personalisation that Andrii's going to join us to showcase as well, and then profile company PDFs. So a load of stuff that the product team has been busy on the last while. So yeah, without further ado, should we get on to Ask AI, Felix?
Exactly. So just quickly before we dive into this, I want to say, as usual, we also have some YouTube videos for each of these features that we're sharing today. So obviously you want to pay attention to these, but I just want to say, in case you miss anything, you'll be able to watch it all in your own time, and don't worry about that. But let me just dive right into the Ask AI feature, which is new at Dealroom. And I just want to show you this directly in a demo. So again, as usual, live demos, scary stuff, but let's hope everything goes great. So let me share my screen for that. So I just want to tell you a little bit about what Ask AI actually is. So when you're looking at a company today, you often want precise context right there. You want to understand who the competitors are, what the company history looks like, their funding history, and how it has grown in recent periods. This usually means clicking through multiple tabs, reading profile information, checking funding history, or sometimes even asking an analyst to compile a short briefing. And Ask AI brings all of this analysis directly into the Dealroom company profiles. So let's just take a look right away. So when you go to the Dealroom app here, you can navigate to companies, and let me just pick a company right here. So say the number one at the top. So let's just go to Roblox. And you can trigger this Ask AI feature by clicking on the button over here. So it's very visible right next to the save and the other interactions. So when I press this, I get this little sidebar, which I'm briefly going to pin. And then I actually wanted to ask Orla. So what are maybe some things we could ask about Roblox that would be interesting?
Okay, so what about the 5 closest competitors to Roblox?
Okay, so let's try this. So I can just directly go in here, and I could ask about some of these suggested queries, but I can also just directly type in what I want to hear. So let's say, show me the 5 closest competitors.
And explain the differences between them.
To Roblox, all right. And explain the differences, let's say, between them and Roblox,
yeah.
just to
Nice.
be clear. Okay, so let's just get that started. And essentially what's going to happen now is that our AI agent is going to grab all the context from the Dealroom profile and from, for this case, also similar profiles that would be competitors. And then, goes around and does a deep analysis and a sort of deep dive into this. So this can take some time. As you know, we've all worked with AI by now. It tends to take a second to think. So I'll get back to this specific result in a second, but I already wanted to show you without having to wait. Well, great. I prepared some stuff, but we can actually look at the live one because it finished in time. So what we can see here is some of the competitors it shows me. One is here Minecraft, which I think makes sense in the gaming world. We see Epic Games as well, or rather Fortnite, owned by Epic Games. We see Rec Room. We see Unity, which is a game engine developer. And we can also see some key facts on Roblox itself. And now we have this whole chat window in which we can actually also ask some follow-up questions. So again, Orla, I'm sort of following your guide here. So what should we ask about Roblox next?
What about the founding team? So tell me, analyze the founding team behind Roblox and their backgrounds.
All right, let's do that. So let's say analyze the founding team behind Roblox and their backgrounds. So again, we can kick this off, and it's going to do a deep analysis grounded in the Dealroom profile context again. And while we wait, let me just quickly jump to a place where I've already asked this question. So in this chat window, it will tell us about the different founders. So here we have David Baszucki, the co-founder and CEO. We have Eric Cassell, another co-founder. We see some of their education history, but also a little bit more on the executive leadership. And this is pretty awesome because essentially it brings all of this analysis that you would otherwise have to click through or maybe even do further research for directly into the company profile where you're already looking at right now.
And it's also because it's based on Dealroom data, you can kind of trust it a bit more because that's verified data. We've already done that work on those founders and the other companies in the database and things like that.
Exactly. So yeah, essentially in a nutshell, this makes Ask AI useful for quick first call prep, competitive benchmarking, market mapping, and internal briefings. So Ask AI gives you a faster way to understand a company and move from profile data to insights.
Amazing.
Cool. Great. So that much on Ask AI. But I think this is only sort of the first step. So maybe there's something more interesting we can do with Dealroom data. Maybe you don't just want to see it in the profile itself, but bring it into the workflows that you already use today.
Exactly. So the next thing on the list is MCP connectors. And my first question on this actually is, what does MCP stand for and what's an MCP connector?
Exactly. So MCP stands for Model Context Protocol. So what this means, it's essentially a standard that Anthropic has released. I think it's like a year and a half ago now, which allows your agents to interact with a certain service. So for example, what this means in the case of Dealroom, you can connect our MCP, so our Dealroom platform, to your agent of your choice. So say you already use Claude or ChatGPT or Perplexity, and you can just, with this MCP, directly query Dealroom data and ask questions about the companies you're interested in without just having your agent pull off like the generic data of the internet, which is not actually what you're really interested in, but you want to have, as Orla already says, the data we have already vetted, validated, and spend a lot of time curating. So yeah, if your team is already using these AI assistants for research, market mapping, or diligence, we essentially now allow you to use our data directly in those workflows. So importantly, this has to be enabled by your account managers for you. And once that's done, the setup is very straightforward and they can help you with it. But I already want to show you briefly what we can do here. So let me just open a new chat and take an example of what we can do. So I prepped some ideas here. What you can do today is you can do data lookups on Dealroom data. You can do analysis on companies, investors, founders and universities. And I actually just want to quickly get an example of what that could look like here. So let's just start by telling Claude that I wanted to use the Dealroom MCP. I want you to use the Dealroom MCP to find the, say, 25 most funded companies in quantum technology, which might be something that you're interested in today. Let's also use a location filter to narrow this down a little bit to make it more interesting. So let's just say in the United States. And then this is kind of like an easy bit, right? Like I can already do this quite easily in Dealroom. So what's sort of the analysis that this new thing allows me to do on top? So let's make this a little bit more difficult. Then do a deep dive on the 3 most interesting, and I think maybe we should tell it what is the most interesting company here by employee growth. Funding, cadence, so how often they've raised, etc. And then I wanted to include some details on the founding team, headcount over time, and investors. All right, so this is already a lot more elaborate, and this is actually where it becomes interesting, right? So what we're doing here is not just opening Dealroom and pulling like a very, very simple query, but we're already doing a lot of things on top. So let me just kick this off. And again, as in the previous demo, I don't think I want to bore you with all the time it takes to load, but I will come back to this chat to show you that this actually ran in reality, right? So no fakes here. So what I want to show you is the result. So actually up here, I had asked the exact same thing to Claude earlier today. And what it will do now, it will actually first check all the tools that are available from the Dealroom MCP. So we go in here, there's loads of tools available that you can actually see yourself if you go into this customize section. And you can see there's analyze company, analyze founder, investors, all of these different tools which Claude or the agent of your choice can call. But you don't actually need to know about any of these. I'm just showing you that this exists, and this is actually also where you can add the MCP. And then it will use this tool. So for example, here, the first thing it did is use the search company tool and to those filters that we've requested. So it just naturally passes your question into what Dealroom data can actually provide, and then comes back with a really cool report. So I think this was actually quite awesome. So I wanted to just show this briefly, which Claude does these things now where it shows you like a good breakdown, but this is actually so much more useful because it is grounded in real data and not in something random that it found on the internet. So here we can see the top 25 most funded US quantum technology companies. And we can see also the ones that are picked here for the interesting ones. So we can see PsiQuantum, we can see where they're based, the stage they're in, the total funding they have raised here in euros. So this already gives you like a very quick overview of the space. And then again, I asked her to do a deep dive into the 3 most interesting companies. So we have here PsiQuantum, we have IonQ, and we have like a nice little overview of what each of these companies does, what their approach is, what the founding team is. And we essentially have a very deep analysis that would otherwise be very complicated to build. And then a follow-up that we could ask that I've also prepared here is to maybe, again, like just in Ask AI, we can learn a little bit more about the founding team. So let me just see. If I ask her to tell you more about the founding team of PsiQuantum, again, it will go out and analyze the company, look for the team, find the information, and then present it to you in a nicely formatted way, which just makes interacting with Dealroom data so much more simple and also exciting. So just to sort of summarize this, all of this brings Dealroom data into your workflow, into where you already use AI today. And as I've already said before, as of today, we support lookups and analysis of companies, investors, founders, and universities. And to get access, talk to your account managers, and they will gladly help you with the setup. And we're super excited to get this into your hands and try it out.
100%. We've all been using it ourselves as well. And so you were showing Claude there, but people can plug it into other services as well, right?
Yes, absolutely. So again, MCP, just to quickly explain what it is an open protocol. So you can now connect it to Perplexity, to ChatGPT, to maybe even if you use coding agents and you want to use some programmatic interactions with Dealroom data, you can do all of this wherever your workflows live.
Amazing. Okay. Well, thank you very much, Felix.
Giving it to Orla now. So very excited to see what she has prepared for us.
Exactly. So I've got shareholder information. So this is actually also some data you could be accessing via the MCP very soon. But we have been adding some really nice breakdowns that look just like on this slide here. But I wanted to show them in the app, of course, as well. So if we go to the app, what we can now see if we go to, I'm going to share the correct tab. There we go. Yes, so if we go to a company profile like Monzo here, if we scroll down, lots of familiar blocks here. So you've got the funding rounds with all of the funding and investor information. You've got lots of nice contextual information from the notes, information about the team again, and their financials. But just underneath their financials is this new section for shareholder structure. So we can see both the different shareholders and also the percentages they own, and a nice little chart here as well. If we go to table view, you'll actually see a longer list of the shareholders as well. So Passion Capital, if we look back up at the funding rounds that were done, they basically did the entire seed and Series A pretty much of Monzo on their own. So they are the biggest shareholder in here. But you can also see how much is held by the employees, the ESOP here, and the founders and other investors as well. So yeah, nice little new piece that the team have added. I want to show another example as well. So Lovable, one of the hottest companies in Europe right now. We can also see, how much of Lovable is still held by the founders and the employees, and Axel and other investors as well. That's nice little piece to dive into, and you can kind of compare it with the key people that's right next to it as well. So this is being rolled out for VC-backed startups. So we've got very high coverage of Nordics and UK so far, but also of the rest of Europe and US, and that's being rolled out as we speak. That is in a nutshell and very brief, but a small but not mighty little improvement. And that kind of wraps up shareholder information, unless you have any questions, Felix.
No, I mean, this is a very straightforward one. So I think it's always great to see something that is so easy to understand, but still so useful at the same time. Yeah. So super excited about this.
Yeah, exactly. Again, just trying to improve workflow means you don't have to go somewhere else to find this stuff. And so the next couple of items, though, are going to be shown by Andrii, who is our head of news, and who I think is going to magically appear in interview in just a second after he adjusts the camera. But he's going to be covering, first of all, personalization, I believe. So Andrii, yes. Welcome.
Exactly.
Well,
Hi,
welcome
thank
to
you.
the webinar.
Thank you so much. Always
so
you. Happy to sit at this table. Thank you so much. So my name is Andrii Degeler. I am the head of news at Dealroom, and I will talk about personalization first, and then also we will see funding stories, and we will founding stories. And the new daily email. So starting with personalization. So there are quite a few things that we have introduced in the past. In the past few months, so you may have seen a bunch of these things, in fact, already, but it is always a great idea to talk through them. So first and foremost, why are we doing this? Because every customer that we have, everyone who comes on the platform has different interests, comes from a different country, in fact, and basically has a different function. And given the same exact feed to everyone would not be correct, so we really want the platform to adapt to every person coming on the platform. And the first step for that, for you actually to make the platform adapt to your interests, would be to tell us what your interests are. And that can be done in your dashboard. You can look at the top right corner, and you will see the Set Up Your Interests button. You click it, and you see a few separate sections.
I'm interested in everything.
Yeah. Orla is interested in everything. It's him. So you see the topics, you see the stages, you see the locations. Just for the purpose of this demonstration, I will uninterest Orla in all those great places and add one specific one. For example, let's do the Netherlands, because that's where we are right now. And I'm sorry, I cannot write anymore. So let's just leave Netherlands to show you how different the results would be. So we save the preferences, and from there we can see different changes. For example, we go to the news page, and normally when you go on the news page, you see all the stories that have been happening over the past hours and days. If you flip this toggle on the top right, based on my interest, then you will start getting things that are more relevant for your location and for your ecosystem. So in this case, Netherlands, both above the fold and below the fold. That's one thing. Also, in your dashboard, you get the founder alerts that are relevant for your location and your sectors, and you get founder factories that also are relevant for where you are located. So this is personalization, and We really hope that you find it useful, and as always, we are very much looking forward to hearing your feedback on all these things. So from personalization, we can go ahead and get to founding stories, because this is something that we are already seeing on the screen anyway. So founding stories, that is something that we see as a replacement for taglines for founders. Especially, it is very relevant for founders whose startups are coming out of stealth, or maybe they're actually still in stealth. But while there is very little information about the company itself, we can leverage the data we have on the founders to get a pretty good picture on what this company could be, what this company could be doing, and also how important it is and whether it actually matters in the sector that it's operating in. So you will see founding stories in several different places. First and foremost, of course, in the founder alerts on the dashboard. You will also see them in your daily email, and also across the platform as the tagline of different founders. For example, if you take this, so this is exactly the same alert as we just saw in the dashboard.
And that's handy because, yeah, as you said, there might not be much information about a startup in stealth, but if it's been founded by 3 people that previously worked in computational biology, you might get an idea of what the company might do.
And might have a suspicion, in fact, yeah. So, and since I already mentioned the daily email, this brings me nicely to the third part of the things that I wanted to talk about today, and that is the new look and feel and structure of the email. So let me show you. Let me show you what it looks like. So first and foremost, the email itself, it now looks very different than it did before, and our team has done its utmost to really bring the noise levels to the minimum and make it as clean and as fresh as possible. So I really hope you appreciate it, and again, I'm very much looking forward to hearing what you think about it. And now there are a few things that are different. And by the way, if you are already a subscriber to the daily email, you will see the new version in your inbox tomorrow morning. So now at the very top, you can see the 3 stories that were the most important in the past 24 hours. And a side note, right now, all the email subscribers will actually see the same stories, but in the very near future, you will be able to also toggle personalization for the email as well, and then the news coverage will be adjusted and customized towards your interests, your geography, and the sectors that you have chosen in your dashboard. So these are the stories that are coming from the news page in the app, followed by the new matches. This is the section that was there before as well. So if you're familiar with the news email, there's nothing new here. So these are coming from your saved searches. At the top of each item, you see which exactly search it is coming from. Then you have the founder names, the founding year of the company that matches your search, together with the description. If you are doing a search of a people search, like new founders and all, then you will be able to also see the founding story that I mentioned just before. This section is followed by the company updates. So this comes from your lists. Also, I think it was exactly the same way before. All your saved lists, the companies that are in there, you will see this short but important updates on everything that is happening with those companies. And at the end, we have the funding rounds block. Again, something that has to do with personalization and the interests and the companies that you follow. So this is how the new email looks like. And once again, if you are not a subscriber yet, you can always fix that by flipping this switch on the right-hand side at the top at the dashboard. Just flip it, and you will get the daily emails starting from the next day.
That's exactly what somebody just asked, was can we have the link to subscribe? Yeah. But if you set up an account, basically, and then hit that button.
Yeah, absolutely. Just find it. It used to be a bit harder to find, but I think now it's very prominent. So please do subscribe, take a look, click around, and let us know what you think.
Yeah, so app.dealroom.co to set up an account.
Perfect.
Nice.
So that will be that for me.
Thank you very much.
Please, the floor is yours once again.
Thank you, Andrii. Yes, so we've got, I think, just one more piece. As I said, if people have more questions, drop them in the comments and we'll get to them, because I've got one more small but mighty update to add. I saw there was a question as well about the shareholder information and where that comes from. So a lot of that comes from company filings, but also other sources as well. That's it, but it will show you as well if it's some of them are estimates and some of them are actuals, and it will tell you whether it's one or the other. But onto my last piece, so exporting company profiles as PDFs. So this has been a long requested feature, and let me just go back to Monzo that we had before. This basically means that there's loads of rich information here. Again, we want to be able to serve this to you in the way that it's most useful, whether that's in an MCP or Ask AI, or it could be as a PDF that you want to send to somebody in an email. And now you can, just with these three top dots at the top right of any profile, click download PDF. And like Felix, here's one I made earlier, but you get a PDF with all of the information from the profile. You can see the date that all the information is from as well. So you can kind of have full confidence in this. You've got the Dealroom signal, all of their information about where they're based, various links. You've got the About Monzo story, their tags, their funding rounds again, and their investors, their financials, and all of this handy information. So it's all the data that was there already, but just in another format for you in case you need it. And that is all of that one. As I said, it is a quick one to show because it's just so easy to use. So that's that one's nice.
Yeah, great addition, great quality of life.
Exactly, quality of life improvement.
And should we briefly take some time for questions, maybe?
Yes, yeah. Let's have a look.
So
We've got some
take
coming in. We had shareholder question and we had how to subscribe. So we've answered those. Any more? Otherwise, we will show you where you can find out more about all of these things. Get the questions in quick. If not, nothing so far. But we are going to have videos for all of these things. So if we ran through too quickly, or if you had to jump off, we've got how-tos on all of these features now on our YouTube, so you can find those there. And we've got a busy Q3 coming up. Felix, do you want to tease us with what's coming?
I don't want to say too much, but I'm going to say this. We are working on the next generation of Dealroom, of what Dealroom is. We're working on a new app, new ecosystems, a new API. And basically, there's a lot of really exciting stuff coming. And there's not too much I can tell already, but I already wanted to sort of share that little teaser with everyone. And we're super excited to share more on this soon. And in Q3, we'll have very exciting new things coming.
Yes, we had a hackathon the last couple of days in the Amsterdam office, and vibes were high. So it's going to be nice. We'd love your feedback, as always, both on this session, but more importantly on the product. Anything that was there already or any of the new features, please try them out. Please let us know if they're working, if there's other things that you'd like to see. And we have a question. Mikkel, nice to see you. How do you select?
There's a question for Andrii. Is if you can set up multiple countries in your interests.
Can you set up multiple? Yes, you can.
Andrii is nodding from behind the camera, so that's a strong yes. So you can cater your interests to whatever you are specifically that you want to find.
Yeah, so you can have all of the Nordics, if you like, plus US or whatever. But yeah, if you have any feedback, do please let us know. And we have got some more webinars coming up, as always, busy calendar. So next week, the 28th of May, mark your dance cards. It is the launch of the Global Tech Ecosystem Index. So this is a ranking and benchmarking of 325 of the most important global tech hubs in the world. So we did it last year, and President Macron was sharing it. So if he likes it, then
lots of surprises in there every year, and very exciting to see. So I'm sure also this edition again, definitely one to keep an eye out for.
Yeah, so we also want it to be useful. It benchmarks these places on lots of different metrics and is aiming to help ecosystem builders to accelerate their ecosystems. So please tune in for the unveiling of that next week. And then, after that, we also have the Community Summer Showcase for building ecosystems. So where some of our partners will be showing how they use Dealroom day to day, what they're building with it. So really cool that they're going to be sharing some of their stories and best practices. And then we've got State of Swiss Tech, and we're going to have a halftime report in July as well, where we'll recap everything that's been happening in venture, in tech innovation in the first half of the year, and it's been a busy one. So you can sign up to all of those on our Luma. The calendar will have all of that in there. But thank you so much for joining. It's been short but sweet, and we're really excited to show you what's going to be coming next. And thanks again.
Well, thank you so much, everyone, and I hope you learned a lot.
Nice.